Fortunately, we have connections with Tesla, who have the Optimus hand, and we're actually actively working on giving Alex an Optimus hand so that he could actually control it in his real life. And here's the actual replay of the end of that video using Alex's neural signals on an Optimus hand. Sean, if you want to play that. Yeah.
Actually, let me maybe add a few things to that, which is, as we advance the Neuralink devices, you should be able to actually have full body control and sensors from an Optimus robot. So you could basically inhabit an Optimus robot. It's not just the hand, the whole thing. So you could like basically mentally remote into an Optimus robot and be kind of cool. The future's going to be weird, but pretty cool. And then now another thing that can be done also is like for people that have say lost a limb, lost an arm or a leg or something like that, then we think in the future we'll be able to attach an Optimus arm or legs, and so you kind of like, I remember that scene from Star Wars where Luke Skywalker gets his hand, chopped off with a lightsaber, and he gets kind of a robot hand. And I think that's the kind of thing that we'll be able to do in the future, working with Neuralink and Tesla. So that it goes far beyond just operating a robot hand, but replacing limbs and having kind of a whole body robot experience. And then I think another thing that will be possible, I think is very likely in the future, is to be able to bridge the where the damaged neurons are. So you can take the signal from the brain and transmit that signal past where the neurons are damaged or strained to the rest of the body. So you could reanimate the body, so that if you have a Neuralink implant in the brain and then one in the spinal cord, then you can actually bridge the signals, and you could walk again and have full body functionality. Obviously, that's what people would prefer. To be clear, we realize that would be the preferred outcome, and so that even if you have a broken neck, or you could still, we believe, I'm actually at this point I'd say fairly confident that at some point in the future we'll be able to restore full body functionality.
Fortunately.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the elder bishops, the great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, to the men on the highways and the byways that are pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. To you all I say shalom. To the remnant men, women, and children also, to you all I say shalom. My name is Ahmawan Ahyash. I'm back with another lesson through the power and spread of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. And what you just saw was another one of those MOTB Neuralink conferences where they're talking about the new age, the advanced technology, that we're heading into, with Elon Musk at the head of it, because we know that he is going to be a major player in the MOTB prophecy from Revelation 13 to 16 on down. He's going to be a major player in that prophecy coming to pass, okay? In making this a reality, okay? And we're watching, we're reporting, we're measuring the times, as the scriptures say, because this is the season for it. All right. 2nd Ezra 9:1, as you should be familiar with, it says, He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay, so measuring the times, Elder Apostle Tahar just did a video basically, about Bishop Nathaniel, and all but confessing that the micro C hip is the MOTB, because you can't escape it. It's too much information coming out on this technology. It's too much information linking it directly to the prophecy. And if you want to have any type of validity with your congregation, you're going to have to, at some point, figure out how you're going to weasel your way or incorporate the micro C hip into your breakdown or your understanding of that prophecy. It's evident. All right. When the scriptures say make it plain upon tables, that's what the Lord is doing. See, this is the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. It's not the work of men. This is not the breakdown of great Millstone. This is the breakdown. This is just the truth. The micro C hip being the MOTB is just the truth. It's the proper understanding of that prophecy. All right. But men are carnal, and men, they have ego and they have pride. And when you combine the two, and you have, men are stiff-necked, and when you combine those characteristics, what happens is, you find yourself with a wacky level, just a weird, you find yourself with weird breakdowns. Oh, also, when you happen to get a big congregation and your name is being, and people are patting you on the back and lifting you up like you're a god, that gets to your head. Pride is a mother effer, and then money comes into play and all these different things. So this is what we're seeing, man. But like the video I just showed,
we have connections.
There's a lot that was said in just a 2-minute and 56-second video.
Fortunately,
all right, there was a lot that said. They was talking about one of the first things. One of the first things Elon said was it's the future is going to be weird. Okay, the future is going to be weird. Because he was talking about how people are going to be able to get that full body control and mentally remote into like a robot. You're going to be able to, they call it the Optimus robot, made by Tesla. You'll be able to remote in mentally into a robot and have control of it and he's right. The future is going to be weird, but it's only going to be weird for a short period of time, because the Lord's not going to have this technology, running the world and, for a long period of time. The Lord's going to have this man's plan roll out, and he's going to shut it down. There's not much time between the rollout of MOTB and the destruction, the complete obliteration of Esau's kingdom and his system. But again, Elon mentioned that the future is gonna be weird, and then they had this guy, whoever this guy is, he had the robot, the hand, do a middle finger, to provide some comic relief for what they're trying to present. And and everybody started laughing. It's all fun and games, man. Until you really find out the purpose behind this man's technology. Because again, this is what we always talk about. The way they're going to introduce this technology, just like they was talking about, they're going to introduce this technology to those who it's almost like need a second chance at life. you know. People who've lost their limbs, that's what he mentioned. People who have different type of neurological issues. You know, hey, I got my own infirmities now, and you know, they recommended me to go see a neurosurgeon so they could check on, you know, different parts of my, you know, different limbs, and you know, different discs, nerves, things like that, and you know, to fix me up, you know. And more commonly, they're going to be using the technology in order to fix you up. As it grows, it grows, it grows. Next thing you know, you're going to go to a doctor's office and they're going to be like, all right, well, this is what this microchip can do. You know, and they're setting the stage for that now. You know, this technology is going to be, is actually being used for evil purposes. But again, they're going to introduce it in a way where, you know, it's convenient. It's going to help you. It could change your life. It could give you this back. It could give you that back. You know, but you're not going to be able to deceive the Lord's elect, you know, with how you roll it out and with your promise to make people's lives better. You know, you're going to fool, you know, a lot of people are gullible. A lot of people are desperate in these times. You know, so not only will they introduce it in a way where you can fix your infirmities, things of that nature, but they'll also offer financial incentives, which will get people on board. Scripture said, "A gift destroyeth the heart." You know why? Because what happens is when you offer incentive to people, especially financial or any type of gift, guess what? Their guard, it lowers their guard. And when people lower their guard, they're more susceptible for, you know, for the devil to swoop down and take hold of, you know, take hold of you. You know, if you notice, Elon Musk said he referenced the Star Wars movie, and he said Luke Skywalker lost his hand and got a robot hand. You know, he lost his hand with the lightsaber, and then he ended up getting a new improved robot hand. You know what I'm saying? And why that's important is, we always say this: art imitates life. Edom showing you a lot of his plan, his new world order system, his plan through his movies. Right? He's been doing that for a very long time. This is the book of Isaiah. Precept just came to mind. Isaiah 42:9. It says, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." So the Lord is using cinema, movies, TV shows, music even, to tell you of the things that are coming. Documentaries to tell you of the things that are coming. The Lord shows it, right? And I'm saying that because he used the Star Wars movie with Luke Skywalker, right? You know, Elon Musk was saying how you're going to be able to regain full body functionality, man, through this technology. So the plans are clear. The prophecy is clear to the elect, right? And even to some of the wicked, but their pride won't allow them to retract their statements. You know, they got to do it in some weird, sort of sneaky, bugged out way where it's not as obvious, right, that they are changing their stance. And that's serpent like. That's what the serpent will do. But that's how we liken these men, these different Israelite camps. You know, guys like Vocab Malone, and I don't even like speaking on that demon, but you know, we're in the times where You know, as the Hebrew Israelites, especially, namely of Great Millstone, are continuing to prophesy, to continue to teach, continue to try to gather the elect, there's a lot of persecution that's coming. There's a lot of people who's been coming against the Israelites. If you've just been paying attention to one elder in particular, the elder Manat Zakbar from South Carolina, he's been doing a lot of videos on people coming up against the Hebrew Israelites. And these are your regular TikTokers and, you know, pastors, fake, you know, they've been coming up against the doctrine and the whole awakening, the Hebrew Israelite awakening. They've been coming against it. You know, and these are the times that we're in. And that's why I mentioned I started this verse with this lesson with measuring the time diligently in itself, because that's a part of it. The persecution of Israel is a part of measuring the times, and it's a part of prophecy, you know. But the Lord is showing us things, man. The Lord is validating our stance. He's validating His word by prophecy, by the current events, all these things coming to pass. And it's a beautiful thing to be a part of. It's a beautiful thing to witness. Scriptures say the end of all things are at hand, and that's comforting, because we're that much closer with this technology. We're that much closer with the downfall. We're seeing Babylon fall. We're seeing the vibration, of Babylon fall. Seeing the system collapse. We're seeing wars and rumors of war. We're seeing, Esau against Esau with these different nations. It's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing that's taking place. It's a beautiful thing to behold. And Lord willing, we get to endure, anything that comes our way for the sake of prophecy coming to pass, and for the sake of our salvation, because that's why we do this. So this was a good video for me as I came across it, because it's a reminder. It's a reminder of one of the few prophecies that are left. I can't remember the verse. We was at camp this past Saturday, and our elder, Ahmawan Bar, he brought up a precept. It's in the Apocrypha, where he brought out, and it was talking about how most of the prophecies have come to pass. Is basically, it doesn't say this verbatim, but it was pasted. The breakdown of the scripture was that most of the prophecies have come to pass already, and there's only a few left. And that's man, that's comforting. It's faith boosting. And I'm just very grateful to have my portion. These are some very, very serious times that we're coming into. We don't know how much longer, the outside ministry is going to be taking place with men on the highways and the byways, because at some point Esau Edom is going to move a lot faster with his New World Order agenda. Because the scriptures say that he knoweth that he had but a short time. And that's Esau coming down with great wrath. Let me just get that real quick, because again, I mentioned it earlier. This technology, what Esau is doing, this is actually him coming down with great wrath, even though it seems harmless at this time. You can't expect that harmlessness from Esau. You just can't expect it. You got to know that this man, doesn't have good intention, with anything that he introduces. Revelation 12:12 says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, and the seal." It's like, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. You know what I mean? Esau knows that he don't got a lot of time left for his captivity. His spirit knows it, so that, he's going to have to come with this technology. He's going to have to stop kicking a can down the road and just really go full-fledged. Period. Right? There's no more sugarcoating this. There's no more being on the fence. You got to be rooted in what you understand. You got to be rooted in what you believe. Because even those who don't have the proper understanding and the proper breakdown of Revelation 13 and 16, you're not rooted in that understanding. Because there's nothing to validate it. There's nothing to back it up. You know, Revelation 13:16 says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no man may buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right? You can't break it. Just the breakdowns that are out there that don't align with the micro CHEP are completely bugged out. It doesn't make any sense. Okay? Esau's philosophy, his worship of Cesare Borgia, what are some of the other breakdowns? Man, sleeping with white women. It's just all very bugged out. You know? Hey, but the Lord has to expose it the way he wants to expose it. Again, this is not of us. This is of the will of Yahweh Bashim Shine. It's a beautiful thing that we have the truth, and the Lord blessed us with that. And we just gonna keep fighting and keep pushing until the end, because this ain't gonna. The thing about it is this. The thing about it is this. This technology is not going to stop. They're gonna continue to introduce these things until he rolls out the actual micro CHIP that's gonna go in the everyone, and they're going to introduce it. That's not going to go in everyone, but the plan is for everyone to get chipped. This information, this technology, everything they're introducing, it doesn't slow up from here. It gets more intense, and it happens more. It's going to happen more often and more frequently. All right, so get with the program, or die in Jacob's trouble, or you're going to eat a missile, man. And that's the message to you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. We can't sugarcoat this anymore. And it's not like, let me not say anymore, because we ain't never really sugarcoated. Started with the elders and apostles down. But we can't afford for anyone that's not rooted in the understanding to try to come and, do anything that's outside of what we're teaching. Like, that's not going down. The breakdown is the breakdown of understanding. The proof is in the pudding, like they say. And what else? What more do you want? All right. So I'm gonna leave it there, man. I hope you were edified. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the elder bishops, the great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect, as always. Shalom.